everyone, my name is Jen. Welcome back to Pretty Little Garden. I am a home gardener based in Western New York, Zone 6B, and today I just wanted to share with you some of the zinnia seeds that I've purchased and ones that I've had from last year that I plan to incorporate in this year's 2025 garden. Well, my journey with zinnias is a short one. It began last year, and that was the first time that I grew zinnias, and it was such an enjoyable experience. I grew 3 different types of zinnias in an elevated garden bed that I purchased last year, and my husband stained it for me and we put it on our back patio. It's from Gardener Supply, and I can link it if anybody is interested in it. I got the inspiration from Grow For Me Gardening. They have the same elevated garden bed in their backyard, and I thought it would look good with the style and color that I have going on with my house. So that's where my inspiration came from for those, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the elevated garden bed. In fact, I may get another one for this coming garden season. So I grew 3 types of zinnias last year in my elevated garden bed. I'll tell you the names of them. Were the Zinnia Envy, and this is a beautiful chartreuse heirloom zinnia. It's just gorgeous. It gets 24 to 30 inches tall, and it just has that beautiful chartreuse bloom. It's a 3 to 4 inch wide bloom, and it's gorgeous in cut flower arrangements. I really enjoyed Zinnia Envy. I also grew Zinnia Cut and Come Again, and this was also true to its name. Zinnias are cut and come again, so the more I cut, the more they bloomed. This one, the description is heirloom, vibrant colors, too many to list. The more you cut, the more they bloom, attracts butterflies in search of sweet summer nectar, and it's a great cut flower. So I had a lot of success with the Zinnia Cut and Come Again. And the last zinnia that I planted was the Zinnia Persian Carpet. And this was a beautiful zinnia as well. It was a little on the shorter side in terms of height. It was 12 to 16 inches tall, also considered an heirloom. The description says, create a carpet of warm, festive colors in your flower bed. This Mexican zinnia blend is very heat and drought tolerant, and describes it as a delightful cut flower, and I can attest that yes, it was a delightful cut flower. All 3 of those were just wonderful, and I had decided to direct sow my zinnias. That's how the method that I chose for planting. And it was very easy. You just have to make sure you're past your average last frost date for zinnias, because they are a sun-loving annual. They're a warm annual, so they need warm soil. They can't be dealing with any last-minute frosts. So you do have to make sure that you're way past your average last frost date, and there's no danger of that. And like I said, I direct sowed them. So all I did was take my little shovel, my little trowel, and just make a little trench, and the depth on the packet was a 1/4 inch deep. One thing that I think I will change this year is I did plant them quite close together in my elevated garden bed, and they did end up suffering from some powdery mildew towards the end of the season. Now, that could have happened with, spacing them further apart as well. It's hard to tell, but I do remember having to separate several of them as they grew up next to each other because they were kind of crowded. So I'll take that into consideration when I direct sow them this year. I don't know if I'm going to direct sow those in the elevated garden bed again. I do want something different, I think, for that elevated garden bed, and I would really like to try to direct sow my zinnias just directly into my landscaped garden beds that surround my home in all different areas. So that's what I'm planning to do. I do have several different varieties that I'll share with you. Most of the ones that I purchased last year, actually all of them, were from Botanical Interests. This year I do have a few different seed companies that I bought from, Botanical Interest being one of them. I also purchased from Johnny Seed, and I did also purchase a zinnia package from the American Seed Company that are sold at the Dollar Tree. Okay, so here is one of the zinnias that I'm going to be planting out into my garden. It's from Botanical Interest. This is called Zinnia California Giants Blend, and the description says that it's a bold, beautiful 4 to 6 inch flowers in a rainbow of brilliant colors that last a very long time in the garden and the vase. Superb, fresh cut, or dried flowers. And these bloom summer to fall, and they get 24 to 48 inches tall. And I just thought they were beautiful, and I'm looking forward to seeing them bloom in my garden and attracting some pollinators as well. Next one I have from Botanical Interest. This one is called the Fireball Blend, and I really thought those hot colors were beautiful. I typically am drawn to more pinks and purples, but I have been finding myself liking some of the hot colors as well, the oranges and the reds. So this one gets, let's see, 24 to 36 inches tall. The description says, dazzling large red and orange blossoms are for the bold at heart, easy to grow from seed, and fabulous long-lasting cut flowers. So you can see it just looks beautiful, and I'm looking forward to the Zinnia Fireball Blend as well. So those were the two that I got from Botanical Interests. The next four are from Johnny's Seed Company, and it's my first time purchasing seeds from Johnny's. So I purchased 3 different types of Bennery's Giant Zinnia, and the Bennery's Giant Zinnia is just a larger zinnia. It grows taller, and the blooms on the Bennery's Giant Zinnia are large at 4 to 6 inches, and they are dahlia-like looking. So they look similar to a dahlia. They're excellent in vases. They have a long vase life, it said, and they're excellent for cut flowers. So I purchased Bennery's Giant White, Bennery's Giant Wine, and I also purchased Bennery's Giant Lime. I'm a big fan of that green chartreuse color. And in looking at the description for all of them, they're all reading the same description, which I'll tell you what that is. For the Bennery's Giant White, Wine, and also Lime, they're described as the premium zinnia, recommended by the Association of Specialty Cut Flower Growers. That sounds pretty good. High yields of long, sturdy stems with 4 to 6 inches of fully double dahlia-like blooms. Excellent vase life. Vigorous plants hold up well in summer heat and rain. Low susceptibility of powdery mildew, which that's great. And they are a cut and come again flower, yielding multiple cuts over the season. And the only difference was the Bennery's Giant White and the Bennery's Giant Wine, they grow to a height of 40 to 50 inches. And the Bennery's Giant Lime, that was a little bit shorter at 32 to 40 inches. So those 3 Bennery's Giant varieties from Johnny's Seed, I'm looking forward to planting in my garden this coming season. I also have one more type of zinnia from Johnny's Seed, and I was inspired by my friend Anne over at Martin House Flowers. And I have seen other gardeners online talking about the Ballerina Zinnia, and that is from Johnny's Seed. And what I loved about this flower was just the color. It's like a ballet pink, and it's just really an elegant looking color and a beautiful looking zinnia that I'm really looking forward to trying out. They are described as a pastel pink blend of large double blooms. Who wouldn't want a beautiful pale pink zinnia? In 2018, Johnny's breeding team began work selecting for the pastel color palette. Ballerina's 4 to 6 inch flowers are a blend of soft pink and pale peach with a mix of both dahlia and cactus type blooms. Produces a high percentage of double blooms. So that sounds absolutely delightful. And the color, the picture they had on the Johnny's website was absolutely beautiful. Those pale pink colors, I just think the pale pink and the peach will look beautiful in the summertime in my garden. I also have zinnias, a packet of zinnias from American Seed Company. And those are very cost effective. They're 4 packets for $1 in my area over at the Dollar Tree. These are called the Zinnia Semi-Dwarf Pumila Mixed Colors. And this is just a mix of, mixed blend of zinnias. And let's see, these get 18 to 24 inches in height. It says this attractive, I need my readers. Let's read what it says. This attractive zinnia produces cheerful flowers that face outward rather than upward. Oh, that's different. A definite asset in arranging. Okay, so this is from American Seed Company. And the last packet of zinnias I have is my homemade seeds that I collected last fall. I collected these in November of 2024, and they were from the zinnias that I grew, which were the Envy, the Persian Carpet, and the Cut and Come Again. And as far as I understand, I mixed all the seeds together, but basically you won't know what comes up because of cross-pollination. So if I collected some of these Green Envy seeds, you probably won't be getting the exact look that the Green Envy provides. It'll be sort of a combination depending on how the flower was pollinated. So it'll be exciting to see what comes up. I'm going to be sure to sprinkle some of these in my garden as well, because I really would like to see how they turn out. Well, that's what's going on around my garden today, inside, not outside yet. It's actually a pretty mild day. It's been softly snowing the past couple of days, which has been really beautiful. My winter sowing jugs are doing well. They're just sitting in my elevated garden bed, and all is good here in the pretty little garden. So I would love to know, are you planting zinnias this year? How are you planting them? Are you sowing them inside, sowing your seeds indoors? Are you sowing your seeds outdoors? Are you spring sowing in a milk jug? Let me know in the comments down below. I love chatting with all of you, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.